We are now live.
Oh boy, here we go. I'm trying to see if it's popping up on YouTube.
It should.
I don't see it on YouTube. So
If you go to my channel, maybe it'll show up.
yeah, let's take a look.
Okay, I got
now
the viewer. There we go.
now I'm on my phone, so here we go. But anyways, what's up, man? It's been so long. It feels good. You know why? Because we're talking new MonsterVerse stuff.
We are finally something comes out.
This was such a random thing. Like, I'm getting ready to go out to lunch. I'm at work. I'm actually leaving right now. But as soon as I do, like, the big trailer news drops and, like, the title announcement, and we see, like, I don't know, let's call him Emperor Kong. He's got the red fur a bit. He's got long arms like an orangutan. And it's insane, dude. Like, this just happened so abruptly out of nowhere. There was no build up to it, no teases. It's just like, oh, here you go. What the hell?
Yeah, that caught me off guard. I mean, I should have expected something. The movie's out in like less than a year now, right? Like 11 months.
Right.
So.
But, right. And we haven't done a stream or anything in months, but you know what? No. It's getting to that time again, right?
Yeah, and I mean the Kong anime is like taking its sweet ass time, and the Apple TV Plus show we know was coming out in the next. It's starting in 2024, I think. But
no, I think the show comes out by the end of like fall of this year because I heard they're already in post-production, like NPCs doing the effects, and I think they did the effects on the movies. So we're about to get like a bombardment of like Godzilla movies and like TV show stuff within the next year. I mean, think about it. We have 2 movies and 2 shows.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the Kong anime, I don't know if Godzilla will appear in that or not, but maybe it'll add up to like the lore or whatever. But yeah, so we got this little teaser today. I know I was trying to get a hold of you, like Ryan, wake the fuck up.
I was doing work this morning too. I was like running camera for something, and I just like looked at my phone. I was like, if he's telling me to wake up, then something happened, and I was like, holy shit.
No, it's so exciting too. I'm just like, oh my god, this is so cool. And like the teaser teased something a lot darker too.
Yeah.
And I was trying to see if like because I know on Twitter KDM was talking some stuff too, but it may seem that this Kong or like whatever we're gonna call him, what do we call him, like Emperor Kong, like Palpatine or something, like from Star Wars. that title is that I love that title though, the New Empire. It sounds straight out of Star Wars. But like I said, Emperor, I'm like with the glowing eyes, he's got to have some sort of Hollow Earth energy powers. Clearly, maybe this will finally be the electrical powers that we wanted in GBK. And they're just like, fuck it, let's just do it. Let's throw this in there.
It's always a nice thing too when like I showed this trailer to like to my friend who does my podcast with me and is obviously making my movie with me, and he's not like a big fan of these movies, and he was like, "Oh, that's a great shot, the opening shot."
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet shot. So I mean,
let's see.
I'm really stoked about this thing. I mean, I know you are too, but man, it just gets me excited. I'm like, man, we're starting to get into the hype mode.
Yeah, I know.
Now, and it's been so long since we've been able to. I feel like.
I'm trying to figure out where this is. Like, this isn't the same as Kong's lair, is it? But it looks the same. I'll play without audio. I don't want to get copyright strike for this shit. I'm not gonna play with that.
Okay, your audio's sounding all iffy right now too, so I don't know what's going on there.
Yours is too. I blame you. You're on your phone.
Yeah, so I don't
know. Let's see. We got a couple comments. All right.
Yeah, so okay, let's see if this works. Okay, because it sounded good a second ago,
but. Do you want to try like rejoining the stream?
But goals right there.
Oh, look at that! You can see the little guys flying away. Look at that, little birds. They got this like funny vignette over the whole thing too. It's like that's really awesome. This is a really great tease. That's a really good final shot too. the title X. It's like it's like Godzilla X Mecha Godzilla, right? But surprised they didn't go with and Godzilla X Kong. South Park did a funny spoof. Yes, South Park did. It's Legendary giving us a teaser to apologize that god awful fake tease of GVK back at Warner Brothers event in 2020. This is a lot better than that. You're right. The new Empire. I don't know. Yeah, Sean left. I think he might be back. He's probably had some connection problems. I don't know how I feel about this title. I gotta be honest. I want to save my. Here he's back.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I know I'm driving right now, so I'm not very safe, so I can't really read the comments entirely. So if anything drops, just let me know. But
what do you think about the title? Because I was saying it's kind of confusing. It raises more questions than anything, and I don't know. It's weird. The New Empire.
That I did not expect a title like that, because we were originally hearing like Godzilla and Kong, Origins, and all that other stuff. But I'm really digging the title, The New Empire. It sounds straight out of Star Wars. And with him sitting on the throne like that and having the glowing eyes, I'm calling him like Palpatine Kong, if you will. He's got he's got the war paint on his face too. So I'm like, what is going on with this thing? I would not have expected. I know, like going into it, thinking maybe Space Godzilla, maybe Gigan, maybe some new original thing, but I wouldn't have expected them to necessarily like go with another Kong as like the main villain. But I hear there's more than 3 monsters in the movie, so there's a lot they're still keeping from us. Maybe there's more Kongs. Maybe like this Kong is in cahoots with maybe it's like if Godzilla and Kong are like Mario and Luigi, then it's like Wario and Waluigi or some weird stuff like that. I don't know. There's there's so many possibilities with this movie right now, and I know nothing. Like we know like jack shit about this movie too. It's been super secretive. Whereas with King of the Monsters, like okay, we get that what they're doing with that, or like Skull Island, okay, something like that. But this one, it's the most secretive of the movies, because we knew the last movie was Godzilla and Kong were going to fight. This movie, I mean, we already did that. So like, what do you do with it? I remember hearing that the original post-credit scene for GBK was teasing like the sounds of other Kongs. So, because I know Ron's the son of Kong and all that. We'll definitely get more into the origins of the Titans for sure.
I hope so. And I guess it makes sense to do a Kong kind of enemy because, we did Mecha Godzilla, so it kind of makes sense.
Right. And Kong has never really had unless I'm missing something, in the movies at least, never a rival of sorts.
Mechanic Kong.
We have Mechanic Kong, but an actual full-blooded another member of the Kong-esque species. Maybe this is gonna be the new Planet of the Apes movies, where Kong is Caesar and this thing is Koba, who hates the Godzilla species obviously and has resentment towards Kong for even thinking of teaming up with Godzilla in some capacity, or maybe caring about humans or something. I don't exactly know. There's so much mystery and intrigue with this movie going into it now, and I think having a Kong, another type of Kong monster as this all-powerful monster, I think makes it a little bit more interesting, because we've known that the Kong species has shown massive intelligence. They clearly built those superstructures back in the day. Maybe this is the one who did it. Maybe he ruled the earth or something. I don't exactly know. All I know is I want Hollow Earth flashback scene. Show us the ancient war. You can't tease us and not show us what it was like in ancient times. Maybe the movie opens up in that, or we get to that point where we get the flashback. Maybe kind of like what they did with the Zack Snyder Justice League, where Wonder Woman finds the paintings and then they go into and tell the story or something. I think something like that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've literally no idea what they're gonna do, and we had no idea even some of the earlier materials, what the hell the enemy would be, what the plot would be. I mean, didn't we have a plot description, a really small premise?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
An undiscovered threat within our worlds causes Godzilla and Kong to have to fight it or something like that. I know they filmed in Brazil at one point. They filmed at the Coliseum, it looked like. So who even knows at this point? And I know Adam Wingard's back to direct it. Junkie XL is apparently doing the score. I hope they bring back the classic Ifukube themes, or even like the Death Plant theme, because the last movie, like, okay, if that was going to be Godzilla's theme, at least make that like the bad guy theme, right? His heel theme, if you will. I think, you know, because like there are some good tracks on this soundtrack, but
Super Kong.
Super Kong, yeah, Super Kong sounds cool. I like Emperor Kong, as some people are dubbing him, because he's like, I mean, an emperor is above a king.
Or they could be real assholes and just call him King Kong.
Oh, wouldn't that be funny?
Like, hey, here's your King Kong. Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, he looks angry, but the war paint's a nice touch, though. Like, now we're getting like more highly intelligent kaiju titans, if you will, as antagonists. I like that idea. I like it. I mean, there's a lot of intriguing stuff with this short little teaser. It, like I said, just came completely out of nowhere today. Never even like would have anticipated it. No teasing, and then it just started trending like crazy. And I'm like, holy shit! And
it is an odd choice. The Kong, having it be another Kong, it is an odd choice, but I think I'm down for it. I mean, I do think not having Space Godzilla or something is kind of a missed opportunity, but I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Right. If we're going to go more into like, I mean, because they set up Hollow Earth, we didn't really get to explore it as much. So I'm actually okay with that now, and they can do like more space stuff like in another movie, because Ghidorah was from space. So we had like, now we're going into like something a little bit different. Or maybe it'll be like War of the Gargantuas, where this is like the green one, and then like Kong is like obviously like Sanda cares for humans and all that. And then obviously like, you know, instead of being from the seas, from the Hollow Earth, really jaded and hates humans or something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking of like different like comparisons, but he's starting a war. That's for damn sure.
Right. This,
and we know there's more than 3 monsters in this.
Right. Thing. It raises so many questions as to like just how much lore there is behind all this shit. Like, who is this guy? What the? It boggles the mind, and they better not leave me with more questions this time than answers.
No, I think you're definitely gonna get more answers this time for sure, Ryan. They're just so, like I said, I mean, you got Terry Rossio back to write it. I know, like Anna Wingard's friend is working on it too. I like I said, the tease definitely like hints that it's gonna be a much darker movie than the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the dead skulls right there, and you have someone like sitting on a throne. Like, that's a badass title announcement. Just to announce the title, because to go through all that effort with it, and you know, you got the kind of like looks at the face and that. But like, there's a lot of conversations being held about it too. Like, so much intrigue where nobody has any idea what's going on, unless you're KDM. So shout out to KDM too, because he seems to know everything about these movies. But yeah, like I said, I expect lightning powers or something. The glowing blue eyes, because when the trailer teaser first shot, like, oh, what's Kong doing like this? But then you kind of like watched it a little bit more, and you're like, that's not Kong, because you see the red war paint, you see the orange fur, you got the longer arms, which are more like an orangutan, or maybe it's like Gigantopithecus or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's also kind of crazy to think that it's going to be 10 years since 2014 too when this comes out.
Oh, I know. I was just looking at like some of the stuff like from the other day. I'm like, I did like 30 Days of Godzilla almost 10 years ago. I mean, that's gonna be the 10-year anniversary is next year of it all, which is insane to think about. We got the show coming out this year, that anime, whenever the hell it's supposed to drop. I feel like the anime is gonna drop first. So, but I don't know. Like, there's just so much mystery and intrigue, and then the show too. Like, what's up with the show? Are we gonna get like? Is it gonna lead into the movie a little bit? Is it gonna tease some things?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, the show seemed like it was gonna be more of like a 2014 kind of thing, and not really get much into the future stuff. But
okay,
so, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But you know what? I like the fact that I don't know for once.
Yeah,
I like the surprise. I like the mystery factor. I love speculating that. I mean, part of me really wants to know for sure right now, but I can be patient. When the trailer drops, we're gonna freak the hell out like we did when the GVK trailer did. Although it was kind of fun how we were just like, where the hell is this goddamn trailer? And now it took like 2 months leading up to the movie, which is so unprecedented for like a major movie to get that. And then it's like trailer drops Sunday. It's like, oh fucking finally. And then it became the most viewed trailer of all time for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is 5 on trending right now. 5 hours ago.
Right, and it's not like an actual full-length trailer. It's just a title announcement.
Right. I wonder if they're gonna because like they've been done shooting for a while. I wonder if they're gonna do a more traditional marketing with this. Want to like give us a trailer in like June or something?
I kind of hope so.
Or-
Or maybe they'll wait till like towards the end of the year, like they did, because like the short-term marketing strategy worked for Godzilla versus Kong. I mean, as long as you get it out like near the end of the year, like maybe like as soon as the show ends,
Yeah.
if that drops in September. So I mean, the anime like could be any time whenever it drops, but we don't exactly know. So I'm thinking the anime drops by like May or June. The show drops like September when it's kind of a quieter time for movies, and then like it can generate all the hype. And it's gonna be 10 episodes, so I think like maybe like for like 2 months we'll get like a new episode each week, which I'm actually kind of cool with, as opposed to just dropping it all at once, because then the
Yeah, me too.
conversation keeps going.
I would say, and we're probably gonna get a trailer for the show very soon. Then
Yeah, because if they're already in post, I mean, they just dropped a trailer for like that. Apple TV did something for like that Planet of the Dinosaurs or whatever it is, not too long ago. The effects look great. I think that was just like yesterday or something. The same crew is working on the VFX for this show, so they're throwing a lot of money in this show. By the way, it's definitely $100 million show.
damn, that's good.
Well, because Apple has a shit ton of money, but Apple doesn't have like any big IPs really on their streams. So they're like, all right, let's get the MonsterVerse in there. So, and that show is going to be huge. I have a good feeling about it. So, and then the sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong is going to be way bigger than Godzilla vs. Kong was, because you won't have the lockdowns that you did before.
Oh yeah.
GBK like was a huge, like, despite everything, like it reopened movies. It helped save AMC theaters. I know some people are like, well, maybe no. It helped save it because it was the only thing to really open up. Theaters were at like 20% capacity when it came out, and it was on streaming the same day.
Yeah.
So, like,
which,
the fact
interestingly, only in theaters.
Yes, only in
that.
theaters.
So you got to get your ass there to watch it.
I know. I mean, I was having fun. Just like last week, I was on Nick's channel. We were talking. Actually, the past 2 weeks, we've been talking MonsterVerse stuff. And as soon as we do, look what happens. We get a T-shirt. Yeah. So, but yeah, I wonder if they'll like use some of the deleted footage from Godzilla versus Kong.
Jeez, that would be funny.
Right? They probably just like, all right, we'll save this lore for the next movie. Let's just make it simple. Like, we don't know where we're gonna end up. And now that they've kind of like proven they're more successful that way, they're going to dive way more into it. And I didn't hear any big production issues with this one. It seemed to run very smoothly.
Yeah, this is kind of a crazy teaser when you think about it. Like, nothing to this. This is a really elaborate little thing.
Right. Nothing. We know nothing.
Yeah. I'd love to look at the cast list again to remind myself, because I'm pretty sure it's only like part of Team Godzilla is going to be in this one, I think.
So you'll have Bernie back, you'll have Dr. Eileen, and then you have Gia, and then Dan Stevens, because I think Skarsgård's schedule was busy, so I guess he couldn't come back. I don't exactly know. So they got Dan Stevens, who's worked with Adam Wingard on The Guest, and then it's like a bunch of other people that I've really never heard of. So it's not like they don't have any like big major names. I mean, Dan Stevens was in like, he's been in some stuff. He was in Beauty and the Beast. He played the Beast, but I mean, really, there's no giant marquee name. The monsters are the marquee names. And honestly, in today's day and age, you don't really need a big name to sell the movie. It's more about the IP.
Yeah.
Unless you're Tom Cruise.
It's really funny reading the version of the description on IMDb. It almost kind of sounds like a funny little like caveman thing, where it's like what brought man and monster together forever. Yes. I wonder how much of that they're going to lean into with like ancient humans and shit. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, there's like I said, I like the idea of like all the lore that's just left. Like I love lore stuff. That's one of the reasons what I loved about King of the Monsters was like it felt like we had like more of like this mysterious mystique quality to it all. And I'm kind of hoping this one kind of taps into that a little bit more, because the last movie was more pure action, and we finally got to Hollow Earth, which was not like anything I would have expected it to be when we were thinking about it beforehand, speculating like, oh, what's Hollow Earth going to look like? Okay, did not expect that. So I like being surprised with it. And like I said, the title, the fact that it looks like this Kong is like the main villain. I know there's going to be more than 3 monsters at least in it. I mean, we have a whole like Hollow Earth worth of creatures, but the matter of like, what else could there possibly be down there? So, I mean, will it be more of a Destroy All Monsters-esque movie? Or maybe they'll save that for later on. I don't know, but I think this one's going to be bigger in scale than the last one.
Here's some interesting things I could probably throw up here to look at. I don't know if it's going to share. I have to reshare the tab.
Okay.
They have some names for the extras. So, student, college student, student, beachgoer, student, audience member, worker, student, Rio beachgoer, pedestrian, beachgoer, worker, monarch security, beach tourist. So a lot of beach stuff. Rio police. We know about Rio. Iwi
Yep.
warrior. Oh,
But-
Iwis. That's funny.
Right, because well, it looks like they're gonna head back to Skull Island.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where they'll find more like cave paintings or find more of the story or something.
I wonder if that's the scene that they cut out of the last movie where like they like crash land on the island or whatever and
Oh yeah.
never talked about it.
Mm-hmm. I want to see that footage. It still irritates me that I can't like have access to it.
Interesting.
But yeah, like I said, I'm really stoked for this thing. What about you? What do you really want to see in this next movie? What are a few things? I know I've kind of talked about a few things of what to expect, but like, what's some things? Do you think we'll have any other Toho monsters in there, like maybe Mothra?
I really don't know what to expect. I think there's a chance we could. I think this is a movie where they might just go all out. Where I feel like with the last one, it was like, yeah, we're gonna throw a Mechagodzilla, but you're mainly here to see these two fight. So we're not gonna go as crazy as King of the Monsters. But I think in this one they're gonna let loose with it. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe just if it's in some of this flashback stuff or history stuff, we see some of those old monsters come back.
Okay, like
But
Mothra or
I don't know if they'd actually play a role in the present day plot, but I think they certainly will be in like flashbacks and stuff.
right, because Mothra and Rodan are still out there. And Mothra laid an egg, so maybe that'll hatch soon enough. But
Oh, that'd
like
be great.
I guess they filmed that post-credit scene where like the Mothra Twin Fairies egg thing a while back, so it's still kind of out there. But we still don't have like we still haven't seen it, so they can always probably just pop it into like any movie they want.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly, that'd be kind of fun if they had the Mothra egg actually hatch and actually follow up on that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot in King of the Monsters that's like kind of like not followed up on, but I think because like they had to get GBK like as successful as it was, and I mean, this is a franchise that's constantly adapting too, with each director having a different tone and style to it. I'm curious to see because now this is the first time a director is coming back, so I'm sure you'll get your neon-soaked lights. But I want to see like more horror elements to this next one, and I think the teaser definitely showcased that more.
Oh yeah,
because the last movie, I'll say this though, even though like I still think there is a more immersive, better version out there with the cut footage, it did have the best Kong characterization I think we've ever gotten.
oh absolutely, that was so well done.
Like he actually had a hero's journey, which is very fascinating. He was the main character in the movie. Like, which is, I mean, because you have like Team Godzilla, Team Kong, but Kong, I think, just gets the most screen time. He's actually able to communicate now. But like now, I'm wondering, like, what if this other Kong could just talk straight out of Planet of the Apes? That would be one of those freakiest things to see in the theater. Like, he just starts, like, he's like Caesar, and he's like, no!
Oh,
that
here's
scares the shit out of me.
Here's this comment. I think Kong in the title teaser is the son of Kong and not the villain of the movie. Oh, wow.
I don't know, because he looks like way older, and you have like a whole skeleton of things. I don't know if you could call it Son of Kong. Then I know they want to do Son of Kong elements, and I'm sure they're going to have some elements that maybe in the movie like a younger Kong or something. But like this is like an old school. He's wearing the war paint. I don't know if like the Son of Kong would really have that. He seems like older, more ancient. But maybe, who knows? Give us the Son of Godzilla while you're at it too. So, but
it's funny that they have to trademark Godzilla at the bottom and not Kong.
Yeah. Well, because Kong, I think, is going into public domain or something soon. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a big complicated thing.
Yeah, but they can't, like, Monster vs. Kong will be his own separate thing. Boy, can you imagine when that goes public domain? All the weird stuff we'll get.
Damn.
But yeah,
the effects are great.
Nice. Yeah, the effects still look great. I mean, the other stuff is more like an animated cutscene, but this like close up is like photoreal, and you just see those glowing blue eyes, which are like Godzilla's, which I thought was interesting because at first, like, I'm like, why are his eyes glowing? He's definitely got some Hollow Earth energy. Maybe he'll have the lightning powers. I mean, a lot of us kind of wanted to see in the last movie. Why not, right? I mean, you've already gone so unrealistic with it. Just go even crazier. like a. I mean, this is so weird to think about. Now we're like at the point we're having a Godzilla and Kong sequel where there's like an ancient army of Kongs who built superstructures, can use sign language, wield battle axes, and like apparently have powers and all that. Like what has happened?
Gareth Edwards is shitting his pants.
I'm sure Gareth Edwards is just having a good time. He's just happy like he's like, because of like his directing, a lot of his success, a lot of that success is attributed to him. If he didn't like do well with that first movie, we wouldn't be where we're at today.
No.
So, and yes, I know, like when I rewatched 2014 the other day, I mean, I still really like it, but I'd have my gripes with it. But it is amazing to see how far we've kind of come since 2014.
Oh god, they have a TikTok.
Yes. So, but now, like I said, and I think like having Godzilla and Kong is kind of a duo is the smart move to go forward, rather than just have one on their own. Because if we want Godzilla on his own, we'll just watch what Toho's doing, and Toho's just doing whatever weird, crazy stuff they want to do.
It's funny reading their description, uncovering the mythic battle. So there is one battle, not plural, a battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and tie them to mankind forever. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
Ancient War, man. Ancient War flashbacks. Give me that. I'll be a happy camper.
I wonder if it's gonna be that kind of shit where it's like, oh, it happened before, and then it's gonna happen again or something like that.
I mean, like I said, a new empire. It sounds like we're like the world's gonna change forever at this point. Now the Titans are gonna be like rising up, and like maybe it'll have like a really dark ending to the movie and set up another one.
Oh, jeez. Man, I don't know what their plan is with this franchise. It is interesting that they're like, just popping them out one at a time and not like, hey, we have like 7 more coming up.
Right. But I respect the hell out of it too, because whereas more things like a bad example of planning is the Dark Universe that Universal tried to do. They had that whole cast where like, yeah, we're gonna have the shared universe of everything, without even waiting for the first movie to be a success. And then The Mummy 2017 just fucking bombed because it was a piece of crap. And it's sad because I really wanted the Universal monsters to do well, because that was really the first shared universe was what Universal did. And I just love the Universal monsters in general. So, but yeah, like I said, there's a lot of like cool stuff they could do with this. But I mean, like I said, I respect the fact that they take their time. I mean, what is it, 3 years in between movies? And like, obviously we're getting a show and like an anime stuff, but they take their time. They don't rush it like so many other franchises have done. I mean, look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now. Quantity over quality, and it's more apparent than it's ever been. And the movies are suffering. They don't even have the scripts finished before they start filming.
Yeah, I know.
So, and now, like I said, DC is going through a rebooting once the Flash movie comes out, which I heard that's screening on Tuesday at CinemaCon. So, I mean, that's a good sign they're screening it early. It tells you that they think the movie is good to show it this early. But it's, like I said, it's one of those crazy situations. But at least the Monsterverse and Legendary, they take their time. They do the wait and see approach. They have the ideas. I'm sure they have it all mapped out, but they still do the wait and see approach. And they're like, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have so many different directions we can go in. That's why they cut the post-credit from the last movie, because like, okay, let's wait and see. And then we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, put ourselves in the corner, and then we'll just wait, right? So at the one hand, I'm like, I kind of want like a tease for more stuff. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, I can respect that. You're taking your time. You want to make sure it's done right. You want to see the feedback from the previous film, see how you can improve and get better. And then you do.
Yep. It's hard to know when there's going to be an end.
Right.
We'll see. Right. Or if they're going to, I mean, 2014 did a really good thing where it wrapped itself as a movie, but it clearly left room for more things to come. I hope they do that here and don't do like the Marvel thing where it's like nothing ever ends and that more things are coming. Like if this is it, this is it. I think they're probably going to plan for that.
Right. It's nice when you have an end, right? Because so many things just never end. But I'm sure that like this won't go as long as that. But I mean, we're going up on 10 years, but they just kind of take their sweet time. There's still a lot more left to explore in the universe before you can end it. But when you do get an ending, I want like a title announced like this is the conclusion to this thing. That way, like at least when it ends, I'll be like, man, I was there for quite an epic journey. I made some friends along the way, such as yourself. It united us in a lot of ways, so that was always really cool. But yeah, like holy crap! Now we're almost there. Like we're like in a big epic culmination of this all. So
When's the release date? Is it like the
March 2024.
okay?
I think like middle of March. So like GBK was in Skull Island. It's weird because like the two solo Godzilla movies were in May, and then like the two like Kong related movies were in March. But now like this one's gonna be in March as well. So I think March is a good release
Cool.
date. It's like, okay, we're gonna take over the spring. Because what else is really coming out at that point anymore? Because like Disney's IPs have gone to crap. Their remakes nobody cares about anymore. They're gonna bomb.
Yeah. Well, also what's coming out in theaters too? Like nothing.
Right. I mean, I can't think of really anything else. I mean, you could probably look at the calendar, but we're in a different. The movie industry is changing right now.
Yep.
Superhero movies, they'll still be successful, but they won't be as big as they were a few years ago, I feel. Video game movies are starting to become more popular. Obviously, we had the Super Mario Brothers movie, which is just killing it at the box office right now. Like doing absolutely insane numbers, by the way. It like had a pretty strong hold. It's like it's gonna cross $1 billion, which a video game movie has never done. Top Gun Maverick was huge last year.
Yep.
The Cape movies have gone down in terms of box office quite a bit. Ant-Man flopped. Shazam 2 didn't do well. It flopped 2 at the box office. So we're in a changing of the guard in terms of stuff, I feel. I mean, like I said, superhero movies, there'll still be some that'll be successful, but I don't think it'll quite be as big a boom as it was a few years ago because people like kind of want something different.
And I think
to other things.
The good thing about this series too is like it's not super oversaturated. It's not like every year we get 5 Godzilla movies. It's like every couple of years now. So I think when they come out, people are a lot more excited for them.
Right. And now that we had like a built-in universe kind of, because like with King of the Monsters, some people weren't really sure if it was a sequel or not. But now that they know, okay, we got Godzilla and Kong, and then now we get that it's the universe more, right? Because it's all culminated and come together. I think it's like it'll have like the Avengers effect where it's like they had the setup for it all, and then it all kind of came together, and then it kind of like boomed in that fashion. Because like I said, GVK made a lot of money in like the time when no movie was making money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it would have done a lot better too. Because like I said, a lot of the theaters still weren't open at that time. Because I remember mine was like 25% capacity when you had to go in there, and a lot of people were still kind of hesitant to go back to the theaters, and even theaters across the country were still not open. Like in California, a lot of places weren't open, I heard, or Texas and stuff. So just depending on where you're at. But now that's behind us. The pandemic excuses are over with. Movies can do well. Like they still make a ton of money. Like I said, like that's behind us right now. So I'm curious to see how this next one will do. I think it'll make a lot more than its predecessor. I mean, I think that's pretty much a given at this point. Because like I think Godzilla vs. Kong was the most like streamed movie of that entire year or something.
Yeah,
I definitely was the most pirated. I heard about that. But like I said, the franchise gained more of an audience in some ways, like on home video and that too. Even King of the Monsters, it didn't do as well in theaters, but it made up for it on like home video and that too. And it with GBK and that, like the audience grew over time. So we'll see how this next one does. I think it definitely cracks 500 million for sure.
Oh yeah,
I think it'll definitely. I think it's going to be the highest grossing in the franchise. I'm gonna put money on it right now. I'm not going to give the $1 billion prediction. I'm just going to say it'll become the biggest in the MonsterVerse. So that's
maybe.
my prediction.
Yeah,
I'm calling it because because Skull Island has the most money, like 560 million or something. This one made like 470, but again, that was during a pandemic, and they based on their multiplier that they did, where it was like whatever the box office was, they double it or whatever. It'd be way more or something. But the fact that it did that well same day streaming and that shows that success. But
yeah,
anyway,
it's hard to tell what the climate's going to be like in a year from now with the movies and media. We'll see, but I know I will certainly be seeing in a theater without a doubt.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be there opening night.
It's so crazy to think like how much time has gone by since the last one. It has been over 2 years, hasn't it?
I know. I just remember us making those videos. I remember us in the CCXP stream.
Oh
which
my
is still
god.
my favorite. Like we were just getting so mad, like, oh, there's a few seconds of footage, and then just like Jack just snapped in the middle of it.
Oh, that was a glorious day. Yeah, the 2 shots of him, that was fucking hilarious.
Oh, that was that. And then what was it like? You had Batwoman doing her like weird dance thing, and you're just like what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that was bad. Oh my god. But yeah, this is I mean, if they're gonna go with this dark thing, I really hope they lean into it because I mean, you know, this is a horror director, and it'd be fun to get something really fun in the Hollow Earth.
Yes. I want some more horror elements. I want the scariness back a little bit more. But you still got to have the fun and the action in there. I'm curious to see what kind of action scenes we get because I think GBK had the best action in the
Yeah.
MonsterVerse and really creative too with the battle at sea. You had the battle in Hong Kong. You had all sorts of things going on,
Yeah.
and it looked really cool on screen. So I'm curious to see what this next one's going to unfold in terms of like the action scenes. Now you teased the zero gravity in Hollow Earth, so we better get something in regards to that. Maybe we'll get like the Godzilla Hedorah bit where he's kind of like raises atomic breath and it kind of flies him through the air. That'd be
Oh
a
my
fun
god.
nod, or the tail slide with the different gravity.
Oh Jesus.
Just little shit like that is some of the stuff that I really want to see kind of like played out in the next movie or so.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how much of it's gonna take place in Hollow Earth because there's obviously like a scene at a beach or something like that. I wonder where the final battle is gonna be or the climax is gonna be. Or
It looked like it might be. I saw they were filming stuff in. What if it's at the Colosseum in Rome? I mean, like a huge gladiator battle. I mean, obviously these monsters would just destroy that whole entire thing. But you know, what if like this new Kong thing or whatever is like sending his titans out to like smash down like major cities and that, or maybe the places where a lot of myth kind of originated, right? Let's say like ancient Greece or something, where there's a lot of like history there. Maybe this is where the Kong is familiar with to kind of attack it or something like that. I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating all sorts of crazy ideas. Like go crazier. Give me bigger. Give me more monsters. Like have the fuck it. Let this Kong. I mean, give him like the electrical powers. Let's go even crazier. I mean, why not? Right? I mean, it's already unrealistic. Let's give him the god electrical powers or Hollow Earth energy or whatever it is, because we saw what that shit did to Godzilla last time when Mechagodzilla was able to tap into some of that Hollow Earth energy, however the hell he did it. And it was not, and it was not good news, right? So
yeah,
but,
so this came out of nowhere, but it kind of reminded me like how quickly this is gonna come because it kind of been out of the back of my mind for a while.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, shit, it's happening.
Yeah, this shit's happening, man. I can't wait. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's all I really have to say about it. You got anything else you want to add?
I mean, no, other than fuck. I mean, I said months ago, I was like, oh, like I'll be able to make more videos because like things are gonna start coming out, and then nothing ended up coming out. So
but you know what? It happens when you least expect it. Because like we haven't done a
yeah.
stream or really even like talked in a while, and you know what? Like that's where the fun comes, right? We get to talk about this
Right.
and all the excitement and the fan enthusiasm and that. Like now I'm like, oh man, I'm back, baby. It's like it feels good to kind of talk about this stuff. So
Yeah, but hopefully the anime and the freaking Apple TV Plus show will actually put something out soon, so I have something to talk about. Because I would like, it's not like I'm not making content because I don't want to. It's just because there's nothing there, and I don't feel like milking for any content. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. So,
right,
no,
exactly. So, but yeah, I understand that. But you know what? Like I said, we had this today. I'll probably make my own little video on it as well, really quickly. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff now, just like it's all hitting at once. So, but I mean, that's part of the fun of it all, right?
yeah.
So, I'm stoked. I'm pretty excited that we're back in MonsterVerse mode. Now it's going to be now till next year. We're going to get some more stuff throughout the year. It's the exciting stuff. It's like when GBK was finally coming out, or like one of my favorites was 2018 when we all started doing all the daily videos. It was kind of like a mad rush sometimes between you and me, like to try and get something out. Obviously, if I'm at work, it's kind of a little harder because I don't really have any place to record. But if I'm in a remote day, then I can. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm excited, man. I'm really stoked. It's nice. Like I said, hopefully next time I'll be able to live stream like from my computer instead of my phone. But see, that's where you come in, because you can host the stream and
I can.
back at it. So yeah, so if I'm mobile or something. But yep.
Yeah, until something else comes out, we're just waiting.
Yes, and you know what? You posted a new video again, so like that's part of the fun of it all, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but anyways, so
Yeah.
I will. I guess that's good for right now. So
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking about it. There wasn't a ton to talk about, but also there kind of is because there's a lot of questions. It looks very different tonally than the last one. I don't know what the hell this new monster is. There's a lot of questions going on. So
exactly. So
alrighty. Thanks to everybody who came and watched too.
yeah, thanks everyone. I'm kind of looking at the comments now because I just made it back from my destination. But oh yeah, Gamma Rebirth. That's another fun thing too. So we're in like the kaiju renaissance, if you will, in terms of things. So, but
Absolutely.
yeah. So lots of cool stuff.
All right.
So.
We don't want to bore anybody too much, but go check it out if you haven't seen it. Actually, it's funny. It says 250,000 views on my screen share. It's already over 300 now since we started this.
It's not trending right now. What does it say there? Like 5?
Number 5. It's probably going to go up.
And again, yeah, like it's just a title reveal. It's not like if it was a full blown trailer, there'd be way more marketing behind it. So they're just letting the fans kind of market it. So, but yeah, so so much cool stuff on the way. I'm stoked and I'm excited because we'll be doing more live streams and we'll get the cool intro hopefully next time. But this is again just a quick impromptu one. Just having fun discussing the stuff. So,
alrighty, that'll do it for us. Until there's more news, we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, see you everyone. Daddy's home, cake every night.